Hey everyone, today we'll be going through the first level of the islands, Endurance Dojo. Unlike nearly all levels before this, you'll want to start running to the left instead of to the right when you spawn, then jump shortly after to land on the wing to not get stuck, then continue left. You have to anticipate a dialogue jump here since you can't really see the sensor until it's too late. Then swing across the next few lights and do edge jumps off these platforms to skip the ones that are in between. The same goes for the last obstacle here, where you'll also want to jump over this green wheel. And something that happens a lot in this level is if you happen to land in front of any of these walls that are in a different layer, Sackboy likes to change layer and run into them, and he'll usually keep going back until you stop moving. It's super annoying, so try to avoid it. It doesn't happen in many places in the game, but another one is before the button in the wedding reception. When it comes to these ninja poles, normally you're expected to run across them, but since they completely fail sometimes, a better option might be to bunny hop across and jump to get off them as soon as possible. On the second set of poles, jump off at the end to land on top of the green wheel, then swing off the light onto this small platform. If you've been fast enough up to this point, you can do an edge jump to catch this cycle before it goes up while killing the enemy. If you're a little late, you can also land on the platform first before killing it. If you fell down, it's also possible to make it back up here by doing a bubble jump off the lower enemy. You can even use the seesaw to make it back up to the small platform. But if not, just wait out the extra cycles and make it up as soon as you can. It's also possible to make it to the next section by timing a jump off the middle platform, which can be faster in some situations, but it usually isn't worth it. There's just a lot of different ways to do this section. Afterwards, do an edge jump after the checkpoint to skip the first green wheel, then grab the second one to land next to the checkpoint. Make it across the green platforms, then jump off the last one to get into the range of the sensei. Grab the cane, then as you're reaching the top, you can do some swings back and forth to make it up a bit faster. It can be easy to die from the sushi here since when you jump off the first one you'll sometimes change layer by mistake. A safer option might be to go behind them instead. Afterwards, you'll want to gain some speed from the red wheels, where on the second one, if you let go to land in between the checkpoint and the ninja poles, you can get some pretty nice bunny hops all the way across. The poles will kill you here though if you're not careful enough. There's also a strategy which actually skips the first wheel and also the sushi, where back up on the bridge, if you jump into this corner and spam to move back a layer, there's a chance that you'll fall down straight to the second wheel, potentially getting more speed than normal and skipping 2 extra cycles. You shouldn't do this in runs though. Getting the layer change is pretty precise, and you'll probably just end up losing more time than it's worth, but it's good to know about if you're doing ILs. Make it across the next set of rotating platforms. If you've gone fast enough, you can jump off the first sushi to catch an extra cycle, but just make sure to be careful. Jump onto the next rotating platform as soon as you can, then jump off before it starts going down again. Depending on your pace, you might get a really bad cycle with the green platforms, where they'll spin as you try to land on them. But if you've kept up with the normal cycle, then you don't need to worry about this. There are 2 ways to do the race gate skip. The first is to try and do a bounce jump off the front of it since it's facing left. The other way is to time a jump off the last green platform as it spins clockwise to land on this wood, and then jump over it. It's only worth doing that second option if the cycle is already there though, where, again, if you're on the normal cycle then it actually lines up really well. Walk across the bouncy platform to go straight up. Then do the same as before, where you skip the first wheel and swing off the second to go straight to the left to start pulling the lever. If you time it well, you can actually jump off the platform pretty early by using its upwards momentum to go higher, but otherwise, just pull it until you can comfortably make it up. There's a pretty risky strat here that saves a few seconds. If you move into the back layer before the bridge, you can time a jump to stay behind the wooden beams, blocking the layer change back onto the bridge, letting you fall behind it. If you did a good enough jump, you'll be able to grab the last red wheel, then swing over to the scoreboard by bunny hopping and doing a dialogue jump. This trick can be pretty hard, so we don't really recommend it for full runs. Instead, just get off the elevator and run up the bridge. Move into the back layer once you're up, then walk off the ledge here. You'll land right on this slope, where you can bunny hop and dialogue jump to the scoreboard. Because of the speed you get here, it's actually possible to press return to pod just before the dialogue box opens, while still making it to the scoreboard in time, completely avoiding the dialogue from opening at all. Just be careful because you don't really want to play the whole level again. And that's Endurance Dojo. This is one of those levels where it can be pretty easy to get a game over if you're not careful, so it's something you should definitely practice. We'll see you next time when we cover another pretty hard level, Sensei's Lost Castle. See you later.